So Sangat ji, we're all going to sing a Shabad that most of us here in the Darbar Sahib will be familiar with. Beautiful Shabad by Bhagat Ravidas ji. It was the Prakash Parv of Bhagat Ravidas ji last week. Keeping the Prakash of Bhagat ji in mind, and then the topic of today of Sikhi is love. The topic of Prem, that Prem that translates to love. Sangat ji, such a Prem that when Guru Har Gobind Sahib ji Sache Paatshah ji was born, when they reached an age of 5 years old, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji Maharaj Ji sent Gursikhs to Baba Buddha Sahib Ji to their home. And at that time, Baba Buddha Sahib Ji would have been at the age of about 100 years old, because Baba Ji lived until 126 years of age. ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਬੁੱਢਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 100 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ। ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਜਨਮ ਹੋਇਆ। ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਗਰੀਬ ਨਵਾਜ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਾਓ ਬਾਬਾ ਬੁੱਢਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਦਿਓ ਸਾਡਾ। ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ says, go and give Baba Buddha Sahib ji a message from me. And Sangat ji, and our Itihas writes, Kavi Santokh Singh ji writes, ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਹੁੰਚਦੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਬਾਬਾ ਬੁੱਢਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕੋਲ, when they reach Baba Buddha Sahib ji, the Gursikhs, Prem, Guru Nanak Dev ji Paat ji say to us, man re kyo chhoote bin pyar. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, oh my mind, man re, hey, kyo, how, kyo chhoote, how are we supposed to escape? Kyo chhoote bin pyar. I've said this line many of times, but when we say this line, what does it even mean? Kyo, how, chhoote, how are we supposed to escape without love? Because where there is not love, there's going to be transaction. Where there's no love, we're going to constantly be waiting. If we provide this, if we give this, there's always that little expectation in our mind to receive something back. Even if it's not something obvious, even if it's just acknowledgement. And Sangat ji, but Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paat saying, then how can you escape? You're still stuck, you're in a prison. If there's an expectation that chal main aa kita te mere vaste oh vi idda karange, chal I did this and then they'll do this. And sometimes we've done something for someone and then they might react in a way where they're completely negative towards us in the future. And we're sat there, we're thinking, well, 5 years ago, I did this for such and such person. How can they do that to me now? That means it wasn't out of love. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah ji kehne man re kyo chhoote bin pyar. But how can we escape without love? The Gursikhs reach Baba Buddha Sahib ji's home and they have a message in writing for Baba Buddha Sahib ji. Baba ji ne dekhya Gursikh aaye ne, darshan kite. When Baba Buddha Sahib ji sees that Gursikhs have come into the home, Baba ji ne pehla hath jode, they put their hands together. Baba ji kehne lage, kehne keve aaye? Kehne what brings you here? The kehne lage, kehne Guru Arjan Dev ji Sache Paatshah ne kehne sanu bhejja aap ji de kol. Kehne Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah ji sent us to you. And Sangat ji, in Gurbani, Pattan de Savaiye write that Japayo Jin Arjan Dev Guru, Fir Sankat Jon Garb Na Ayo. What are these words that Gurbani is saying? Japayo Jin Arjun Dev Guru. Those that meditate on the name of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Japiyo Jin Arjan Dev Guru, Fir Sankat Jon Garbana Ayo, they won't have to come back in reincarnation back into the womb. Those that meditate on Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji's name. Sangji is very common for the Gursikhs of that time. The moment these Gursikhs walked in and they said, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji has sent us to you and we brought a message from Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji for you. But the moment they heard the name of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji, Baba Buddha Sahib Ji closed their eyes and they said for many, many moments, Baba Buddha Sahib Ji just chanted the name of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji and they just said, Dhan Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat, Dhan Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat, Dhan Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji. They went into this meditative state where all you could hear from each pore of Babaji's body was Dhan Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah. And Sangato, Gursikhs even of today, the Mahapurkhs that even Das has done Sangat of. Sangatji, we would be reading Gurbani to Mahapurkh, to Baba Rajan Singh Ji Bhai Ji. And as we would see that they have fallen asleep, we would start reading Gurbani quietly because we didn't want to disturb them and because we wanted a rest as well. But as we would start reading quietly, and for us that the Mahapurkh have fallen asleep, but you can still hear something in their breath. And what you can hear in their breath is Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And Sangat Ji, this message, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji says to Baba Buddha Sahib Ji, kende tusi hun Amritsar aao, tusi sade saputter nu kende Gurmukhi akhar padhaune ne. Kende come now, even though Baba Ji so bird that they're 100 years old, but Guru Arjan Dev Ji saying, I want you to come and teach my son Gurmukhi akhar. Baba Buddha Ji laughed and smiled. Kende Sadhguru Ji ne aap bulaya, they went. They reached Sri Amritsar Sahib. They did darshan of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji. Baba Buddha Sahib Ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈ Guru Arjan Dev Ji ਗਰੀਬ ਨਵਾਜ਼ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਇਤਨੇ ਵਿਦਵਾਨ ਨੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਵਰਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵਿਦਵਾਨ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ. They said, in your court, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji, you have the likes of Bhai Gurdas Ji that are so learned. Why remember me at this time to teach your child Gurmukhi, Akhar, the letters of Gurmukhi? And Baba Ji ne us samay kiya, kende assi ta siddhe saade kende anpad jatte haan, kende ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਲਿਖੇ ਨੇ, ਸਿਖਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸੁਪੁੱਤਰ ਨੂੰ, ਸ਼ਹਿਨशाह ਦੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਨशाह ਨੂੰ. They said, I'm just this uneducated farmer. I'm not the best person to teach your son these letters. There's so many more Gursikhs that are so much more learned than me that can do such a better and greater job than me. Why me, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah? And I often think about, this vision comes before my mind when you hear such sakhiyan. When you think of Baba Buddha Sahib Ji that came into the charan of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paat Ji at the age of 12 and now is at the approximate age of 100, how better they must have been, how old they must have been, and how they must have been standing there with their hands together before Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji with the beautiful long flowing beard, who is said to have the longest beard out of all the Dasan Paatshahs, out of all the 10 Guru Sahibans, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji said to have the longest beard. They said when Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji Maharaj Ji would sit, that their beard would curl up in their laps. And it was beautiful. And it would shine. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji, Principal Satbir Singh writes from his research that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji had this beautiful muscular body. And is 6 foot tall. And is so radiant and beautiful. Namo Surj Surje Namo Chandar Chandre. That Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji ne Baba Buddha Sahib Ji de wal vekhya, they looked at Baba Buddha Sahib Ji. ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ Baba Ji, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧਾਤੋਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਖਾਸ 2.5 ਅੱਖਰ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਦੇ ਝੋਲੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਉਣੇ ਨੇ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ you've got these 2.5 special letters and I want you've got them in your heart and I want them letters from you to go into the laps, into the ਝੋਲੀ of my son। ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਹੱਥ ਜੋੜਨ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ 2.5 ਅੱਖਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਈ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਬੁੱਢਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ 10-12 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੇ। you've done the darshan of ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ, you stayed with them in ਸ੍ਰੀ ਕਰਤਾਰਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਆਪ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ। when we all read ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਸਿਫਤ ਖਸਮ ਦੀ ਨੂਰ ਅਰਸ਼ੋਂ ਕੁਰਸੋਂ ਝੱਟੀਏ, those words are about Guru Angad Dev Ji। those words describe Guru Angad Dev Ji। ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੀ, you was there, just like Satam Balwan ji they've described that Hovai in your court, Hovai Sift, the Sift, the praise of Waheguru of God would be done। Hovai Sift, the Khasam, that husband Lord, Hovai Sift Khasam di। and when you would sit, oh Guru Angad Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji saying you've witnessed this, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਅੱਖੀ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਖੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੇਖੇ ਇਹ scene, we didn't get to see this ourselves, but you saw this Hovai Sift Khasam di Noor, and there was, you got to see that light shining on the face of Guru Angad Dev Ji, Noor Arshon, that light that would come from the Arsh, from the heavens. Arsh means the heavens, Noor Arshon Kurson Chattiye। they said that tikki of that, just like that butter from the sun, that light would come on and shine on the face of Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji। you saw that with your own eyes। Noor Arshon Kurson Chattiye tud dithe sache Paatshah mal janam di kattiye। they said oh Baba Buddha Sahib Ji, you was there, the darshan of Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji was such that when Sangat would see them get their darshan, mal janam di kattiye, the janma di mal, the impurities that they had accumulated from many lifetimes would start to be washed away। Sangat Ji, let's just sing these words। Hovai Sift Khasam di Noor Arshon Kursun Chattiye। आओ गाइए पहला कर।
Hovai Sift Khasam di Noor Arshon Kurson Chattiye, tud dithe sache Paatshah mal janam di kattiye। Hovai Sift Khasam di Noor Arshon Kurson Chattiye, tud dithe sache Paatshah mal janam di kattiye। tud dithe sache Paatshah mal janam di kattiye। Hovai Sift Khasam di Noor Arshon Kurson Chattiye, tud dithe sache Paatshah mal janam di kattiye। जपो Hovai Sift Khasam di Noor Arshon Kurson Chattiye, tud dithe sache Paatshah mal janam di kattiye। tud dithe sache Paatshah janam di kattiye। tud dithe sache Paatshah mal janam di kattiye।
ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ ਆਪ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੈਲ ਧੋਤੀ ਗਈ You had the opportunity to sit and see Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji with your own eyes. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਆਏ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਆਪ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ then we hear the words ਕਹੋ ਟਲ ਗੁਰ ਸੇਵੀਏ ਅਹਨਿਸ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਪਰਸੀਏ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੇ ਜਨਮ ਮਰਨ ਦੁੱਖ ਜਾਏ those words are said about Guru ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ when we read ਭੱਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਵਈਏ these bachan were very specific to specific Guru Sahibans, those that were there that experienced this. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈ ਬਾਬਾ ਬੁੱਢਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ 2.5 ਅੱਖਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆ ਨਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਿਰਦਾ ਭਰਿਆ ਪਿਆ ਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ 2.5 ਅੱਖਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਅੱਖਰ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਪੱਪਾ ਪੱਪੇ ਦੇ ਪੈਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਾਰਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੰਮਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ these are the 2.5 letters that you have enshrined instilled in your heart that's papa and in the foot is the half a rara and then the mamma meaning prem love pare main with his no me jithe main hove na pare main there's no ego Baba ji when you teach my son Gurmukhi Akhar you saw Guru Angad Dev Ji teaching these Akhar to children but at the same time I know you're going to fill his heart with love and then Baba ji who better than you to teach this to my son Sangat ji that prem man re kyo chhoote bin pyar how can I escape without this love we're in this constant mode of transactions always expecting wanting things back but Guru Sahib is saying no you're not free you're trapped this is our opportunity to become free we're going to sing these words by Bhagat Ravidas ji those words are Ram Gusaiya ji ke jeevana Mohi Na Bisaro Mai Jan Teraa Sangat ji when you read Gurbani you'll find that it's often saying don't let me forget you it's not very often you will hear in Gurbani where somebody is saying that Vaheguru ji you don't forget me to be able to say that imagine the relationship imagine how alive Vaheguru ji is for Bhagat Ravidas ji to say you don't forget me but what does that even mean what does that even look like let's sing these lines first and then with the kirpa with the grace of Guru Sahib and the sangat we'll attempt to go through this Shabad what Bhagat Ravidas ji is saying we'll never know what Bhagat Ravidas ji is truly feeling from inside because that's their experience but we can try and relate to it on our level our sister Bibi Gurpreet ko sang Birha Birha aakiye Birha tu sultan Birha means the pain of separation. There's many of us that have experienced some form of separation in this life from something or someone at some point and it's felt and it's been difficult. And we've all felt that pain and felt that separation. Bhagat Farid ji saying Birha Birha aakiye people talk about and say this pain of separation. They said there's that worldly separation from people and things, but then there's Birha, Tu Sultan, but then there's the separation from that one. And they say that Sultan, that separation, that pain from that one is Sultan, is the king. But Sangat ji, when we truly start to feel the pain of separation, when we're in pain, when we're just in pain, when we're just suffering, it doesn't matter what it is, when we're just suffering. And remember, we can only suffer if we are separated from that one. No matter what happens to us, even on a worldly level, we only suffer even that pain because we are separated from that one. If we weren't separated from that one, we wouldn't experience and we wouldn't go through that pain of separation even for worldly things. Because when you are united with that one you'll know, then there is nothing to be suffering about, because there is nothing to lose. Na oh mare, na Hovai sog. Sangat ji, but let's sing this Shabad and we'll try and keep to the prakaran. Baba Buddha Sahib ji, Sakhi was a bit of a surprise. I didn't have it in my mind to share with the Sangat. I've not heard myself tell that Sakhi probably for about 4 or 5 years. Or maybe I have told it here in the last few years. And maybe I needed to hear it again. Because it's easy to talk about love, but the Guru defines love for us. And the Guru tells us that the moment you start moaning and complaining about when something doesn't go the way you expected it to go, and you start then moaning and cursing God for it, the Guru's telling us, well, then you're not in love. Guru Sahib say to us that Ashik eh na akhiye, you can't call that person a lover. But this pain of separation, Bhagat Ravidas ji, let's sing these words. Ram de Saiya ji ke jeevana, Mohina Bisaro Mai Teraa. Everybody Sangat ji join in and sing. We always say this is something that we do together. I recommend you to go onto YouTube or on SoundCloud and look up some of the Puratan Ragis. Type in Bhai Thakur Singh Almast. Type in Bhai Gyan Singh Almast. They were father and son. Listen to the way they used to do Kirtan. It was never just somebody performing and doing Kirtan. Everybody was doing Kirtan together. Type in Sant Sujan Singh ji and listen to the Sangat singing and how it pierces your heart. When the likes of Bhai Thakur Singh Almast would do Kirtan, their father used to do Kirtan at Sri Darbar Sahib. When they would do Kirtan, you could hear the Sangat. You could hear them just in awe. You could hear them saying Vah. And they were all together sitting there, and sometimes they would just stop and start talking. Then they would say, what do you want me to sing next? They'll ask the Sangha, shall we do Ardas now or shall we carry on? And Kirtan is something that we all do together because we all want to get somewhere. I definitely know how much I need this. And I know how much of a miracle this is. Again, I've seen it again and again. But the miracles, they never get old. Sahib Mera Neet Nava. Sangat, those of you that were in the Sangat on Thursday at Guru Nanak Gurdwara in Smethwick, that day, Dasa was so ill. Even 2 hours before going to the program to deliver the course, I didn't know how I was going to go and get up. I FaceTime my sister and she's looking at me and she saw the state of me and she's like, oh my God, tenu ki ho gaya? She goes, you ain't going to make it to the course. I was like, I don't know. And I thought, I can't cancel it now because the Sangat isn't going to find out. They're still going to turn up, and Guru's Kirpa, there's about 80, 90 Sangat been coming. And Sanji, believe you me, like, I didn't know how to get up from the sofa, but there's this, you reach there and then you're in the presence of the Sangat, then there's a grace that just starts to flow through. There's something magic about Sangat. And for me, this is life. These are the moments that are worth living for. When we come and let's sing together, Ram Gasaiya Ji Ke Jeevan. But sing this to Vaheguru, say, oh Ram, that one that is immersed in everything and everywhere, Ram Gasaiya. Oh my Vaheguru, Ram Gasaiya Ji. My life, Ji Ke Jeevana, you are the one that gives life to my life. You are the life of me. Ram Gasaiya Ji Ke Jeevana, Mohi Na Bisaro. Don't separate from me. Don't forget me. You don't forget me, Vaheguru. Main jan Teraa, I am your servant. So let's sing this together.
बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा राम गुसैया जी के जीवना 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 मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मेरी संगत पोच सोच दिन राती 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 मेरा कर्म कोटेलता जन्म को पाती मेरा कर्म कुटिलता जन्म को पाती मेरा कर्म कुटिलता जन्म को पाती मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा राम गुसैया जी के जीवना राम गुसैया जी के जीवना राम गोसैया जी के जीवना राम गोसैया जी के जीवना मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मोहिना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा
Sangat ji, Bhagat Ravidas ji is saying that Mohina Bisaro Mai Jan Teraa. And the word Jan means servant. When I was contemplating this Shabad, I was thinking that when Bhagat Ravidas ji is saying that, oh Vaheguru ji, don't forget me as your servant. What would that look like? What would that mean? And if you think about, say if there was a group of servants, and Vaheguru ji, that divine had given each of those servants a service to carry out. So there's the Diwan full here now, and Vaheguru, that Ram Gasaiya, that divine, has given someone a certain service, somebody another service, to go and serve in a certain way. And then you're thinking that I've been missed out. I've not been given a service. What about me? I want to become a servant as well. I want to serve this creation of yours as well in some form of way. And Bhagat Ravidas ji is saying that Mohina Bisaro, saying, imagine this, saying to Vaheguru, saying to God, hello, what about me? Don't forget about me. Because there's so many of us that feel lost and empty and trying to look for something to make sense of this life. There's so many studies that show today that one of the things that keeps us happier for longer and even helps us in living a happy, longer life, I'm talking on a general kind of term, not in the sense of living a life of oneness and uniting, just generally being happier and more content. The thing that comes out at the top is having sangat, having deep connections with other people. And the other thing is when you find meaning to your life, when you give meaning to your life. There's many people feel today that they feel lost because they're thinking, what meaning have I got in this? Where do I belong? What part do I play? So Bhakt Ravidas is saying, Mohi Na Bisaro, don't forget me. I want to be a servant as well. I want to roll as well. I want to serve as well. Main jan tera, I'm a servant as well, but what about my role? And Sangat ji, there's a story that came to my mind as I was thinking of these words of when somebody truly gets to that point and becomes so desperate and longs so deeply to serve. Sangat ji, there was a husband and wife. They were from a wealthy background. The husband was from a very wealthy background. But in their life, they were trying to find more to life. They were trying to find this purpose and meaning to their life. They didn't use these words. So they came across, they said, Apa kisi nu ja ke puchiye, let's go and ask someone. What can we do? We've got all the riches, we've got the wealth of the life of this world. It's not satisfied us. So they went and asked a fakir, this sadhu. The fakir said to them, there's a particular idol that you make it into your name, make it a discipline where you take flowers for this idol every day. And you take flowers and you take some form of, and you bathe this idol every day. So they started to do this. They started to live a much more simple life. They went and they started to collect flowers and take those flowers and take these flowers to this idol. And unhone apna name bana liya pakka, and no matter what would happen, they would make sure they were very disciplined, and they did that. And Sangat, one of the days, as they were on their way to take these flowers, and they used to take this water to bathe this idol. En route to taking this water to this idol, they could hear somebody gasping for their life and saying that koi hai jehda pani pila sakda hai? Is there anybody that can give me and feed me some water? Now these two, they had a fresh pot of water that they've collected from a river, and they're going to now take this water to bathe this idol. And they thought in their mind, well, yes, we've got this water, but we need to keep this water fresh and pure because we need to take it to the idol to bathe it. So we couldn't give it to anyone else, but we could do this at least. And this person saying, "Mainu koi hai pani pilaun wala? Is there anyone that can just give me a bit of water?" And now they looked at each other, husband and wife, and they said, "No, our name comes first, our discipline comes first. There's no way we can make this water jutta." And Sangat ji, you might be thinking, no, that's a no-brainer. Of course they should have given it to the guy. No, put it into context now. Now you think you've got to make prashada for Guru Granth Sahib Ji. You've been given that duty. Because it's easy when you're thinking about somebody else, thinking, oh, it's a no-brainer. Of course you'd give the water to him. Put it into context. You've been in situations, you've been at camps, you've been at Gurdwara, you've been at situations and smagams. It's your duty to make prashada for Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Now imagine somebody saying, I really need that food. And you're thinking, well, no, it's got to go to Guru Sahib first. And that same way, they're thinking, no, it's a no-brainer. We've got to go and carry out our name, our discipline. So they thought, he'll still be here. We'll bring it back for him after. Because remember, in those days, you didn't just get water easily. Because we're talking about 350 years ago. So they've gone. But as they go, what they heard was, they heard this man saying, Naale pyar kinne a? ਨਾਲੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਣੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ you talking about love but now you're walking away from love. And they said, you're never gonna get darshan, you're not gonna get vision. That's all they said. They didn't say the vision of who or what. They said, darshan nahi miloge tanu. Darshan nahi den lage. That was his exact words. Darshan nahi den lage je. And they thought, darshan nahi den lage. We're gonna go to the idol, we're gonna get darshan. They've gone and done their thing, they've come back. But when they came back, they saw, when they came to give that man water, they saw that that man's passed away. When they saw he's passed away, it hit them. Asi pani nahi pilaya, pani shayad je pila dende ta bach janda sahi. If we gave him that water, he may have survived. They went, they asked the village, does anybody know who this man was? Ye kaun siga? He looks wounded. They said yes. They said he's a beloved Gursikh of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Kalgitar Sache Paatshah. He goes to Anandpur Sahib regularly. They said he had come back home for a few days. And they said he's a great, and he's known as a Bhagat, as a devotee of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Everybody calls him this Bhagat. They said he'd always have a mala in his hand, but he always had a shastra in his hand as well. They said, so what happened was, they said there was a couple that some dakus, that some thieves that went and attacked. He came in front and saved them because they were on their way to Anandpur Sahib. He said that I regularly go and see Guru Gobind Singh Ji. He said to this couple, you're going to go for the first time. I don't want you to miss this opportunity, so I'll come. He came in the way, he saved their life. But he got wounded really badly as he was saving that couple's life. That couple went on to Anandpur Sahib, got darshan of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji found out what happened to their Bhagat, what happened to their Gursikh, that he died of thirst. But his last words were, darshan nahi dene je. You're not going to get darshan. So now these two, they tried to continue normal after this. They carried on, they tried to go to the idol, take the flowers, but now their inside is in pain. Now they can't sit, they can't rest. They're asking around, they said that, who was his guru? They said, he's Guru Gobind Singh Ji. That Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Sache Paatshah, Kalgitar Sache Paatshah. That Shahnshah, de Shahnshah, Kalgitar Sache Paatshah, that Bardo Alam Shah Guru Gobind Singh. He's not only the Guru of this world, he's the Guru that can even hold your arm when you leave this body in the next world. He's that Guru. Is the Manzoor Guru Gobind Singh, he's that Guru that is the Manzoor. When he sees others in pain, in suffering, he's the one that helps and lifts them up. They said, how can we go to him? They said, you don't need to. He's coming to Raipur. He's going to come to this area and region and give darshan to the sangat over here. They said, that's amazing. They said, we'll be waiting. They asked such and such day when Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah is going to come. So the route that Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah is going to take and come where all the sangata are standing, they both, husband and wife. The wife is called Mohina and the husband is called Sohina. Mohina and Sohina, they both go and stand at the back of this queue, but in their heart, they can still hear these words, darshan nahi dene je, when you're not going to get the vision. You're not going to get to see. And as Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji is coming down on their horse, and they're riding through the Sangata, giving the Sangata darshan, and they're going to stay in this region now for a few days. But before they get to the end of the line, before this couple could see Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji turns their horse and rides through the jungle and rides away. And they asked, Kende, where's the Guru gone? Sangat said, Pata nahi ki hoya. They said, all of a sudden, halfway through, he's turned his horse and he's just rode off. Sangat ji, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji in that area, unhone darbar sajaya. Kirtan would happen and Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji would be sitting in the darbar side, but just before they would enter the darbar, the couple Guru Gobind Singh Ji would walk out of the darbar. 3-4 days passed like this, they didn't get darshan. They asked, Guru Gobind Singh Ji leaves and goes back to Anandpur Sahib. Sangat Ji, Ram Gasaiya, Ji ke Jeevana, Mohina Bisaro Mai Teraa, you don't forget me. Je Guru kite sanu pala dave, Guru palaunda nahi par. And now they're desperate, but we want to be your servants, we want to serve you. And they asked, somebody said to them, go Anandpur Sahib, you won't be left empty. They go to Anandpur Sahib and they said that, let's ask if we can take on some seva. So they go to the gardens of Anandpur Sahib, where they would grow fresh flowers every day for Guru Gobind Singh Ji Padshah. And they go and find the gardener that is the head of the gardens, whose name was Bhai Kesara Singh. They go to Bhai Kesara. Amrit Sanchar hadn't taken place yet. This is just before 1699. This is a couple of years before Amrit Sanchar. And they go to Bhai Kesara Singh. They said, we're looking for a seva. And they said, we'll take any seva. They said, anything you give us. And they said, you can help here, you can take seva on as the gardeners here and help out with the flowers. And Sangat Ji, they took on a seva, they helped out with preparing the flowers every day, preparing the gardens. And Sangat Ji, word got back to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Padshah Ji that this couple is working in their gardens. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Padshah Ji called Bhai Kesara Singh. They said, Kesara kende gal sun kende, they can do the seva, they can prepare and they can work on the gardens, they can do everything. Kende par mere mathe na lagan. But they're not to come anywhere near me. They're not to even make attempt of coming to see me. They said, but they can do whatever seva they want in the gardens. Sangat Ji, they prepared grew these beautiful flowers in this garden. And Sangat Ji, Mata Jito Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Padshah Ji's wife, Mata Jito Ji passed away in around 1700, about 1 year after Khande Batte da Amrit. It was Mata Jito Ji that put the patase into the Amrit, and it was about a year later Mata Ji passed away. Mata Jito Ji used to get up around 2 o'clock in the morning, do her Simran every day, Gurmantar Jap. Then she would come down to the garden herself, Mata Jito Ji would, and then she would collect these flowers and she would make a garland out of the flowers every day. And then Mata Jito Ji would take this garland of flowers. Before Guru Gobind Singh Ji Padshah Ji would go into the Darbar Sahib for Amrit Vela, Mata Jito Ji would put that garland of flowers around Guru Gobind Singh Ji Padshah Ji's neck. She would do Matha Tek to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Kalgitar Padshah Ji. Every day she would do this, fresh flowers she would give to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and she would just stay there. And what's so beautiful is that Bhai Veer Singh Ji writes that she wouldn't then follow Guru Gobind Singh Ji into the Darbar Sahib. She would sit there for 2 hours and she would just close her eyes with that image of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Padshah Ji wearing the chola and wearing that garland of flowers that she had given to them, and she would just envision that, have that in her mind, and she'd just stay there and be immersed in Simran. Every day Mata Jito Ji did that. One of the days there was a set of flowers that was so beautiful that Guru Gobind Singh Ji Padshah Ji commented on them. When Mata Jito Ji gave them, Guru Gobind Singh kende wah, kende bade khoobsurat, kende these are so beautiful. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Padshah Ji said, these flowers, I've not seen such an arrangement before. Mata Jito Ji said, I can't take credit for this. There's a humble couple that works in your gardens. They are the ones that put these flowers together for you. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Sache Paatshah Ji received and took those flowers. And Mata Jitu Ji said that they've been saying that they want to have your darshan, but for some reason they said that you've said no to giving them darshan. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah, and then Mata Jitu Ji said, then why are you still accepting their flowers? Guru Gobind Singh Ji said, I can't give them darshan. I'm bound. Guru Gobind Singh Ji said, it's not that I don't want to give them darshan. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah said, my Gursikh, his last dying words were, darshan nahi dene je. That you're not going to get the vision of your Guru. Guru Gobind Singh Ji said, I can't go against my Gursikh's words. He was a Bhagat. Mataji said, Hun daya, deen dayal bharose tere. Sab parvar chadhaya bede. Singh ji, deen dayal bharose tere. That sometimes in our life we'll meet somebody that becomes where we're feeling deen, where we're feeling weak, where we are feeling we've got no strength left. We want to take those steps, but we just don't know how to, and we can't anymore. And then somebody comes and sees our pain, and they shower that compassion upon us, and they lift us up and they take us. Mata Jitu ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਹੱਥ ਜੋੜਦੀ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ I put my hands before you, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਜੁਗਤੀ ਦੱਸ ਦੋ. Is there any form of way, is there any secret how I can help them to escape from the words of that Gursikh? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈ ਕੋਈ ਤਰੀਕਾ? ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਆਇਆ Gursikh. That's a Gursikh. That's the heart of a Gursikh Mata Jitu ji that had. Not when we see somebody struggling, or even if somebody's made a mistake and that has fallen, not that we don't want to then have anything to do with them. Mata Jitu saying, please, can you, I beg you, can you give me this seva? Can I do something for them? Anything that can break that, so that you can give them your darshan. Mataji said, how about if I just go and spend time with Guru Gobind Singh Ji said, go and help them to purify their minds. Because they haven't reached that level of prem, that love yet. They were so stuck in their name and just getting it all right. They were so stuck in their head and trying to do the right thing. And they couldn't even hear when somebody needed that water. Their hearts hadn't opened. Their hearts were still closed. Go and help them wash their heart. Mata Jitu ji then starts to come and says, Mohina, aa chaliye aap andar baithiye. They lived in this broken little shack. Mata Jitu ji would come inside, and Mata Jitu ji would say that you've got such an art of doing kirtan. Mata Jitu ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, Mohina ਕਹਿੰਦੇ kirtan ਸੁਣਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ do some kirtan. Mata ji would sit with Mohina and said, do kirtan. And she sang a Shabad, bin har kyo rahi hai? That without that one, how can we survive? She'd sing such Shabads that were so heart-piercing, that were full of the pain of separation. And Mata Jitu ji would speak to her and start breaking through that hard heart that was trying to get it all right and trying to use their cleverness. And then her husband would come back from working and he'd ask his wife, they'd say, Ammi ji aayi si? Did Mata ji come today? Sangh ji, many days went past like this, and this sadhu fakir came to the gardens one day. So this random person, this sadhu fakir, he came singing. You know, sometimes you meet these people that are a bit crazy. He came into the gardens and he's all singing, and he's singing these rhymes, and he looked at Mohina and he said, oh, give me something, give me something. And Mohina said, you can take whatever you want. She said, I've learned that lesson already once of not giving. She said, whatever we've got in our little house, in our little hut, you can take it all. What do you want? He said, no, I want these flowers. And then she just stopped. And Sangat, you know when your heart starts to become purified, then you're able to start hearing when somebody's pure, when somebody's coming from a pure place or not. And she said, he doesn't sound as pure as that man sounded when he was asked, that Gursikh that was asking for water. He said, something doesn't sound right here. It's not that same type of voice. Just like Bhagat Ravidas ji said that, Bachani tor mor man mane, Jan ko puran dije, Bachani tor. When you speak to me from inside, give me the complete faith to be able to hear you. And she's thinking something's not right here. In the moment, she then thought of intuitively. Some of us will be more in touch with our intuitiveness. Bhagat Ravidas ji saying, Karan Kavan Abol, saying, oh Vaheguru, why aren't you speaking to me? Sometimes that connection breaks. But then we've got to ask God again, saying, speak to me. Karan Kavan Abol. That's what's so beautiful about the Bhagats. Their language is so innocent. The way he spoke to Vaheguru is saying, what's up? Why aren't you speaking to me? Why have you gone quiet all of a sudden? Who sometimes experiences that in their life where they feel that connection is dimmed and they're not feeling connected, or they're not feeling that intuitiveness, and where you just know and you don't feel like you're in your flow and you feel a bit lost sometimes. Who experiences that in their life sometimes? Put your hands up. Oh wow, most of us. We're all lost, aren't we? But Bhagat Ravidas ji said, that's okay, it happens to all of us, it happened to me as well, they said, but then I just asked, what's up? Karan Kavaniya Bol, what's up? What's the problem? Why aren't you talking to me? They said that, Hum sar deen diyal na tum sar, ab patiyar kya kije. Bhagat Ravidas ji said, you don't even need to test me, because if I try and use any cleverness with you, I'm going to fail. Hum sardeen, I'm telling you that I'm weak, that I'm just there, I'm in your feet, I give up, I've lost. Hum sardeen diyal na tum sar, but there's nobody as compassionate as you. And she's at that stage now where she's not using any cleverness now, and now she's let go of that cleverness and something speaks to her from inside. And she said, we're not in charge of these gardens, ask Teraa Singh. She said, we don't own these gardens, I can't tell you if you can take the flowers from here. Go and ask Teraa Singh. The fakir is cursing her and he runs off. Sangat ji, as the fakir runs off, when they wake up the next morning, Sohina and Mohina, what do they see? Somebody's ruined all the gardens, somebody's ruined all the flowers, somebody's taken the flowers and completely ruined the gardens. They both come together. They said, what are we supposed to do now? We just about got this seva. They're both crying. They're both crying and they fall to their knees. And they fall to their knees and they're crying, Sangat ji, and at the same time, in the Darbar side, that same fakir that came to her goes to Guru Gobind Singh ji and places a whole load of flowers before Guru Gobind Singh ji. And Guru Gobind Singh ji Pacha ji says to him that your flowers, these flowers are not accepted from you. And he said, why? Guru Sahib ji said, you're a fakir, you should have come empty-handed, you didn't need to bring anything. And if you was going to bring something, at least bring something that is yours. Sangat ji, as they fall to the ground, and they are now in that state of Bairag, that Ram Gasaiya ji ke Jeevna, oh Guru Gobind Singh ji, you are our life. If we got no seva now, if we can't even serve you anymore, then this life isn't worth living. Sometimes the doubt comes in our mind, should we just stop doing this seva? Should we just back off? Should we just leave it? They're saying, no, now we're willing to die. Now they're saying, Ji ke Jeevna, you are my life, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah. That Mohi Na Bisaro, we are your servants. Don't forget me now, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. We're on our knees. We're lifeless now. Meri har ho bipat jan karo ho subai. Meri har ho Sangh Ji, what can we do when we get to that state? When we fall to our knees and we say we don't know what to do now, where to go now, then Bhakt Ravidas Ji say this, saying, Meri har ho bipat, take away this suffering from me now. I can't take anymore. I can relate to that. You get to that point where the pain gets so deep, you just think, I'm done. I just don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. You fall to your knees and say, Meri har ho bipat. The bipat means bifta. My pain and suffering, I can't cope anymore. Meri har ho bipat jan karo ho sabai. Fill this servant with subai, with love. That's all I want. That's all Guru Arjan Dev Ji said to Baba Buddha Sahib Ji to put in the choli of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. Jan karo sabai. Charna shado. Now they're saying, they're on their knees and saying, Charna shado Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji. Now no matter what happens, we're not going to let go of your charan. Charna shado, Srir kal jai. Even if we die in this moment, that's fine. Kaho Ravidas, paro teri samba. Now we are in your sanctuary and we're not leaving your sanctuary for anything else now. Beg milho, jan karna bilamba. Beg means quick, hurry up. We're dying. We're dying. And Sangh Ji, we're all dying if you think about it. Aud kate, din sarai nare. And I think about this a lot. Time is ticking away. And the truth is, let's all do this ardas. Meri har ho bipat. Take away that pain, that suffering of hatred, that suffering of jealousy, that suffering. Because those are the true sufferings, that suffering of anger, resentment. That's the suffering. Take it away from me. I'm ready to be filled with love. Sangh Ji, you ready to be filled with love? Who's ready to be filled with love? Sangat Ji, they've fallen now and they fainted. They both fainted. They're lying in that field. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Kalgitar Sache Paatshah Ji, they stand up in the Darbar side. And I was trying to envision this and I couldn't even do it. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji starts to run. All the Sangat stands up and starts to run behind Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Imagine this, we're all sitting here like this. Guru Gobind Singh Ji on their takhat. They're saying to this sadhu, take these flowers away. Guru Gobind Singh Ji stands up and they start running towards their gardens. The Sangat Mata Jito Ji's found out what's happened. Mata Jito Ji's running after them. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they looked back and they said to one of the Gursikhs, Kede pani leke aao, pani leke aao. Kede bring some water, bring some water. Beg milo jal karna bilamba. Now you can't wait any longer. You're saying, beg, just quick, hurry up. Why Guru, I can't do without you. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, I can't do without you. No more, I'm done. Guru Gobind Singh Ji is running. They reach, when they got to that field, Kalikitar Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Kalikitar Sache Paatshah, they see that they're both lying on the ground. They both have fainted. They're unconscious. But now that Guru Gobind Singh Ji, that wouldn't come before them, that wouldn't come in front of them, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji lifts their heads up and Paatshah Ji places one of their heads on one lap and the other in the other lap on the other leg. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji saying, quick, bring me that water, bring me that water. They bring that water. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji splashing, sprinkling water into their eyes and they're saying, Mohina, Sohina, oh Mohina, oh Sohina. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਉਡੀਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਖੋਲਦੇ ਹੁਣ। ਜੈਸਾ ਬਾਲਕ ਭਾਏ ਸੁਬਾਈ ਲੱਖ ਅਪਰਾਧ ਕਮਾਵੇ, ਕਰ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਝਿੜਕੇ ਬਹੁ ਭਾਂਤੀ ਬਹੁੜ ਪਿਤਾ ਗੱਲ ਲਾਵੇ। A father is such. ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੇਖੋ, ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਇਆ। look, I've come in the form of a mother. ਜੇ ਅਤ ਕ੍ਰੋਪ ਕਰੇ ਕਰਤਾਇਆ, ਤਾਂ ਭੀ ਚੀਤ ਨਾ ਰਾਖਸ ਮਾਇਆ। ਜੇ ਅਤ ਕ੍ਰੋਪ ਕਰੇ ਕਰਤਾਇਆ, even if a child gets angry and runs away, ਤਾਂ ਭੀ ਚੀਤ ਨਾ ਰਾਖਸ, but even then the mother still keeps it in her heart. And that mother comes and Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah is saying, open your eyes, open your eyes. Akkha kholo, vekho. Bhai Veer Singh Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੇਖੋ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਂ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ। ਗੁਰੂ ਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗੋਦੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਪ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਚਿਹਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੱਥ ਫੇਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਖੋਲੋ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁੱਤਰੋ। They open their eyes. ਜਦੋਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਖੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਵੇਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੱਚਮੁੱਚ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਆ ਗਏ ਨੇ। Has Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah ji truly come? They close their eyes again, ਫਿਰ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਮੀਟਦੇ ਨੇ, ਫਿਰ ਖੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ, ਫਿਰ ਮੀਟਦੇ ਨੇ, ਫਿਰ ਖੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ। They close their eyes, they open their eyes. And all they see is Kaligitar Paatshah, all they see is Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Sache Paatshah Ji. And what they say, Kahe na khandas avgun mera, Rame-eeaa, hum Baarik Teraa, Kahe na khandas avgun mera. And they're saying that, in their hearts they're saying, will you forgive me? Forgive everything that we've done. We didn't give you. Because in that moment, it was you in that gursik. We refused you water. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji helped lift them up. And they said ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੋਢਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਹਾਰਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ। And Sangat Ji, the truth is, if we continue, we keep yearning to serve, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji will always come in some form to keep lifting us up every time. Let's sing these words. That ਕਾਹੇ ਨਾ ਖੰਡਸ ਅਵਗੁਣ ਮੇਰਾ. Let's sing this Shabad, Sangat Ji. Rame-eeaa, how? Oh Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji, Rame-eeaa. Rame-eeaa here for us is Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Rame-eeaa, how? Baarik Teraa, we are your children. Kahe na khandas avgan mera. Whatever it is that I think that I've done that I can't walk ahead from, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji, I know you will take my head in your laps as well. And you will lift me on your shoulders as well. And you will take me as well, like that mother that gives her child that support. Aao pyaro padhiye ji.
Rame-eeaa, hum Baarik Teraa. कैसे उतरस पारा, कैसे उतरस पारा, कैसे उतरस पारा, कैसे उतरस पारा। रामैया हो बारिक तेरा, रामैया हो बारिक तेरा। देह बिमल मत सदा शरीरा, देह बिमल मत सदा शरीरा। सहज सहज गुण रवै कबीरा, सहज सहज गुण रवै कबीरा, सहज सहज गुण रवै कबीरा। काहे ना खंडस अवगण मेरा, काहे ना खंडस अवगण मेरा। रामैया हो बारिक तेरा, रामैया हो बारिक तेरा। लाल रंगीले प्रीतम मनमोहना, लाल रंगीले प्रीतम मनमोहना, लाल रंगीले प्रीतम मनमोहन। तेरे दर्शन को हम वारे, तेरे दर्शन को हम वारे, तेरे दर्शन को हम वारे, तेरे दर्शन को हम वारे। लाल रंगीले प्रीतम मनमोहना, लाल रंगीले प्रीतम मनमोहन। तेरे दर्शन को हम वारे, तेरे दर्शन को हम वारे, तेरे दर्शन को हम वारे, तेरे दर्शन को हम वारे। क्या गुण तेरे सार समाई, क्या गुण तेरे सार समाई, क्या गुण तेरे सार समाली, क्या गुण तेरे सार समाली। मोहे निर्गुण के दातारे, मोहे निर्गुण के दातारे, मोहे निर्गुण के दातारे, मोहे निर्गुण के दातारे। बै खरीद क्या करे चतुराई, बै खरीद क्या करे चतुराई, बै खरीद क्या करे चतुराई, बै खरीद क्या करे चतुराई। जियो पिंड सब थारे, जियो पिंड सब थारे, जियो पिंड सब थारे, जियो पिंड बिसारो मोहे ना बिसारो मोहे ना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मोहे ना बिसारो मोहे ना बिसारो मोहे ना बिसारो मैं जान तेरा मैं जान तेरा मैं जान तेरा। मेरी हरो बेपत जन करो सुबाई चरण ना छाडो शरीर कल जाई चरण ना छाडो शरीर कल जाई कहो रविदास परो तेरी सांबा बेग मिलो जन करना बिलांबा बेग मिलो जन करना बिलांबा बेग मिलो जन करना बिलांबा वाहेगुरु। रामकली महला तीजा आनंद एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद आनंद पया मेरी माए सतगुरु मैं पाया सतगुर ता पाया सहज से मन वजिया वधाई राज रतन परवार परियां शब्द गावण आइया शब्दों ता गावो हरि केरा मन जिनी वसाया कहे नानक आनंद होआ सतगुरु मैं पाया ये मन मेरा तू सदा रहो हर नाल रहो तू मन मेरे दुख सब विसारणा अंगीकारो करे तेरा कारज सब सवार सपना गला समरथ स्वामी तो को मनो विसारे कहे नानक मन मेरे सदा रहो हर नाले साचे साहेबा क्या नहीं करते करता तेरे सब कुछ है जिस दे सो पाए सदा सिफ्त सलाह तेरी नाम मन वसावे नाम जिनके मन वसया वजे शब्द बने कह नानक सच्चे साहिब क्या नहीं करते साचा नाम मेरा आधार साच नाम आधार मेरा जिन भूखा सब भगवाइया कर शांत सुख मन आए वसया जिन इच्छा सब पुजाइया सदा कुर्बान किता गुरु बिटो जिस दिया वड्याइया जीत
आज की
जीत
राज करेगा
खालसा
राज करेगा
खालसा
खुशियां का जयकारा बुलावे ना हाल हो जावे धन धन श्री गुरु कलगीधर सच्चे पातशाह जी दे मां तू बाज आवे
सर